Welcome everyone back to the Spiritual Growth Collective, and my special guest today is Paul Brown, my fiance, best friend, soulmate. Um, and since we are in the energy of the collective month 2, Valentine's Day is coming up, I wanted to have a fun conversation with my man.
A fun conversation. Okay.
Fun.
Yep.
I've already been giggling a ton, so we'll see how I do here.
Yeah. Let's do this. Yeah.
Okay, so before we start, Paul is a life path 8, and in the energy of 8, that's the CEO leader vibes. 8 energy is all about materializing success and materializing manifestations. 8, they're very ambitious and driven and all about abundance, but not just abundance of finances, but abundance of time and energy and, things also outside of work. They also have to focus on work-life balance. Like balance is very, very important. And what else can I say about the energy of 8? Oh, they're here to learn and experience abundance and then show others how to do the same. So I think that sums up a little bit about you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because a lot of numerologists say that life path 7, so like the spiritual, like seeker, the intuitive, and a life path 8 are not compatible.
Mhm.
But I mean, obviously, I'm biased.
We're gonna see in the next hour. We're gonna sort that out. But anyway,
Yes, I'm obviously biased because I think that a life path 8 brings a lot of groundedness and a lot of leadership to a life path 7. And I think a life path 7 brings a lot of maybe even like dreaminess and like intuition and like harmony and spirituality, obviously, to maybe like a more practical life path 8.
Mhm.
What would you say to that?
I'd say that's accurate.
Yeah, okay.
I would consider this accurate.
So welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Yeah.
Okay,
Am
so
I being picked up on this?
yes.
Sitting here? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I didn't actually test anything.
Sorry. I mean, that's my practical side that just came out.
Right,
I
and
just
that's my,
realized.
I believe that the
Right.
mic works, and let's just hope to the universe it does.
Yep.
Okay, so I will give the listeners a little bit of background on us. We
Mhm.
met April 2019 off of Hinge.
Mhm.
Yeah. We dated 10 months before I moved in, before we moved in together.
Mhm.
This year we're going to be celebrating our 6th anniversary. And we also have been circling each other's lives probably for the last 30 some years, starting with we went to the same day camp. We lived in 2 of the same neighborhoods at the exact same time. We would grocery shop at the same stores. And yeah, just have been like going to the same events throughout these last 30 years, or for 30 years, I should say. And then, yeah, only met in 2019.
Mhm.
So I've shared this before. It took me 2 years of self-love, soul love, therapy, understanding myself, healing childhood wounds to be really ready for you. And this soul commitment. So I want to know what things did you do to prepare for me?
What did I do to prepare for you?
Yeah.
Well, I would have to say very similar in that I had the opportunity to work in jobs that gave me a lot of alone time.
Mm.
So in those jobs and in those scenarios, I had to learn a lot about myself. And just once I understood myself more, then I had a better understanding of what I actually would want in a partner and
Mhm.
what kind of feelings I'd want to feel and all of that, right? So I would say that was a lot of it. I was always pretty good at pulling hair out of drains
Yes, he's very good at
and
that. Uh-huh.
knowing exactly how to take apart a sink and to pull hair out. So that's something that I'm also pretty good at. We'll cover that later.
Uh-huh.
Cooking also, we'll cover that later.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you do a lot of the cooking. Yes,
but
that is correct.
yeah, I think just the ability to understand myself more had helped a lot here because I'd say relationships in the past maybe I didn't have a full grasp of myself. So
Hmm.
you just get into these things and then realize that okay, this isn't what you want or this isn't what you want to feel or how you want to be.
Hmm.
And so I would say full understanding of that by the time that we'd started uh makes this make a lot of sense. So
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think I've ever read this to you, but I was looking over my journals when I was manifesting you,
uh-oh.
and I found this entry. This is from August of 2018, and it says, so this is what I wrote. Dating, relationships, loves. The vision of myself in a relationship is of a man and I to laugh together, make jokes, talk about mindfulness, universe, our goals, big questions in life, talk about our travels, inspire one another, support each other's ideas, work, great connected, intimate, sensual, orgasmic sex, kissing, sensually, passionately expressing ourselves without words and feeling how deeply connected we are. I want to be so attracted to this man and so attracted to me. I want us to be affectionate, spend quality time together, be communicative, watch shows, movies, documentaries together, and cuddle. To go travel the world together, have new adventures and experiences, and to always remember we do not complete each other, rather, we add to one another's greatness and happiness.
And you wrote that when?
2018.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'd say,
Do you feel like that's
yeah. Other
okay?
than the traveling the world, I mean, because we got together when we moved in, it was end of January 2020, and obviously like pandemic happened and life has happened. I would say that the only thing I think we don't necessarily do a lot of, which actually I don't mind anymore, is the traveling the world part because separately you and I have traveled the world, you more than I have, but um earlier, so I don't feel like, oh my God, But yeah, I think this is like pretty fucking accurate.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's good. Obviously, and also kind words, by the way. I guess I'm funny, but
yes, you are very funny.
we'll cover that again, I guess, throughout all of this. But I mean, thanks for the kind words before we even met. That's
Okay, well, yeah. Well, that's the whole like point of manifesting, babe.
got it. Yes.
I was
Okay.
like speaking it into existence. I was visioning it. It was like, in my heart. Yeah, you were in my heart. I
Mm-hmm.
just like hadn't met you yet. And so I, was writing it down, feeling it, meditating. So I think I did my first vision board in end of 2017. And I would after that for like, yeah, good, I don't know, I think, yeah, a good like year and a half before I met you, I'd sit in front of that vision board. And because that was the first one and had a lot about like love.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, so I actually don't know if you know this, maybe I probably told you. Um, I was like getting over somebody else in end of 2017 and I had his zodiac sign. So I had Pisces and his zodiac sign. And then I remember at some point I was like, okay, this is not like I'm never gonna get back together with this guy. Like I don't want this guy's zodiac sign on my vision board. So I took it off and I just left Pisces and I never put any other zodiac sign. And you are my Pisces. I'm also a Pisces.
Correct.
Yes, correct. They might not
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that,
Can
but
confirm. Yeah.
yes, you can
Yeah.
confirm. But it's, like even that move I felt opened up like the portal to really manifesting you for those, for that year and a half, 2 years that I was manifesting my partner. And the other interesting thing is I've never called you my boyfriend. I've only ever called you like my well, obviously, no, but my partner for sure. Um, which yeah, I just felt like there was another, I'm not going to read it, but I was looking through my journals and there was another entry. I was talking more about work
Mm.
and what kind of, work situation I wanted. And then I was reading that list and I was like, I really want a partnership and partnership, like in love too. So I think it was important to use that word, like partner.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. I don't think I use the term girlfriend
Yeah.
either, because for whatever reason it doesn't feel like it accurately covers it,
Yeah.
right? So like just partner makes
Yeah.
a lot more sense.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
Sure.
So Tracy McMillan, who's a relationship expert, talks about love and says that relationships are spiritual paths, that they are here to teach you how to love more and better, but first you have to love yourself. Um, so was there anything, yes, you talked about like reflecting a lot. Is there anything sort of in your path before we met that you had to rewrite a story about relationships, or yeah, had to do some like, self-love work? Again, coming back to my journal, uh I unpacked, so in 2018 I unpacked in therapy, and it's interesting that I didn't feel like I was worthy of a good man, and a relationship. And I had these stories around love. And so I definitely like worked on my self-love and my self-worthiness to, of course, manifest you. So yeah, was there any stories you were telling yourself that you had to get over or work through, maybe from past relationships? While you were, reflecting and understanding and kind of self-discovering yourself?
I'd say what pops up um, in answer to that, I think what pops up is the common male approach to like a long-term relationship is
Hmm.
that just kind of like going to work, you're putting in a shift and you're just doing the things that you're supposed to do, and if you do the things you're supposed to do, then things will work out. And that was a lot of the, I think, a lot of the relationship related motivations before us. And so, yeah, I would feel I'm making it sound a bit like a job because
Yeah,
sometimes it would feel like it is, right? Like you just got to go put in the hours, and then after you put in enough hours, you've got enough bonus points or bonus dollars or whatever to then go, do whatever you want to do. It felt like really transactional and
mm,
like a job, like another job.
okay.
And so I think I had to do away with that thought process uh, before even looking to get into anything else. And so by the time that we had started, I had already gotten rid of that thought process. It was more like a genuine desire to be with someone that I actually want to be with,
Hmm.
if that makes sense, or
Hmm.
that I actually want to have fun with, that I actually want to like do the world with and all of that. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest one, that a relationship felt like a task on a list.
Mm.
And, you do these tasks and then you're fine.
Where do you think you learned that?
Yeah, I mean, TV doesn't help, right?
Oh.
Or like just the depiction of men in general in relationships in
Hmm.
shows.
Hmm.
Um, is just someone that's doing everything they can to, just make her happy.
Mm.
And that's it. And that's it. So if you make her happy, whatever, you'll be fine.
Happy wife, happy life.
That kind of thing.
Aw. Yeah, I could see that in like TV and movies
Yeah.
and
And although that is obviously true thing to think about, it's not the only thing. And I
yeah.
guess for a lot of my dating past, I didn't recognize that that isn't the only thing. So now that I know that, okay, happy wife, happy life, but also I should probably be happy too.
Yes. Well, it's the whole notion of like we don't complete one another. Like we're two whole beings coming
Right.
together, not to complete each other, but to like you know, add happiness and
Hmm.
and add love and all the things to each other's lives rather than, yeah, just like like checking off like a
Yeah.
task.
And a part of that is also, if we get into like compatibility, for example, if
Hmm.
you're with somebody that you're actually compatible with,
Hmm.
then this part becomes easy.
Right.
But if you're not with someone that you're compatible with, then you do have to put your brain in some work mode to actually deal with this person that you're not actually compatible with,
Yeah.
which I've done.
Yes, I know you've
And
done.
so, once recognizing that, okay, if me being myself
Mhm.
is actually attractive to someone, or someone can actually fully appreciate that, and then I'm actually attracted to them too,
Mhm.
then that's all, that's something I didn't think would exist.
Oh,
And so it does. And I guess here we are.
yeah.
But
Yeah. Okay. So our first date in the first 3 weeks of dating.
oh, you're gonna bring this up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna
Yep.
bring it up.
Go ahead.
So I excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've shared this before,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't my best in the 3 weeks that we were dating, and I did yell at you a couple
Yeah. How
times.
much detail are we to
No, 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 we're not gonna get into
no,
all the
no, not
details.
like the late for the first date, not
Okay,
that.
fine. Oh, like that. Yeah.
No.
I was late for a
Right.
first date. So I was working as a corporate event planner, and it was a Tuesday night, and I was having a name badge emergency. And yes, that does exist. Name badge
You heard those
emergency.
names correctly. Name,
Yes.
badge,
I
emergency.
don't even actually remember what it was, but there was an emergency. Anyways, you can ask my former colleague, Patricia. Um, so yes, I was late and I walked in very hangry and I sat down and you had asked me if I wanted to play pool.
Because there were pool tables at this
Because
place that
yes,
we were,
we were like
yes.
sitting right next to a
That
pool
I had
table.
been there for about a half hour ish
Yeah, waiting for me.
waiting, and there were pool tables. So it made sense
Yes, to ask me if I wanted to play
to offer
pool.
to play some pool. Yeah. Okay.
Except I was hangry and I wanted to eat. So I said, what did I even say? No. Oh, I said, no, I don't like playing pool or I
Mm-hmm.
don't like pool, which is true. I don't like pool.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have to like yell at you about it. And I said, I want to eat.
Our first interaction, ladies and gentlemen. That's this is what this is the opening scene. And yeah, just so you know. Yep.
So yeah, that was one moment.
Mm-hmm.
Another moment was we had gone to a comedy club and you came over after and I was making myself tea. And as I was like pouring the tea out, I burnt myself and I screamed and you ran into the kitchen and I yelled at you for checking on me.
Again, for the sports fans, this is very much in the first quarter. This is this is how this is going. Okay, carry on.
Very hot and cold with you.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Until I realized that, you were exactly the man that I was manifesting and that I was self-sabotaging myself within those 3 weeks because I had never been with, a guy like you and my nervous system was unfamiliar. So I was just trying to protect myself from like, you know, from the unfamiliar, from, dating you, which is again exactly what I wanted, but I was pushing you away. Anyways, all of this to say, within those 3 weeks, what did you see? Like, what did you see in me or in us that you like wanted to continue on? Like, I yelled at you twice.
It's
I'm
not
getting,
a poetic answer. It's not. It's because I genuinely can't put my finger on it. Like I can't
yeah,
describe it. But I knew something that I can't really. I've tried to put words to this,
okay.
and I honestly I don't think I can put words to it. But I knew enough to know that this is a moment in time here, and this doesn't seem regular.
Mm.
Like it doesn't seem like like a regular thing for you to yell at people that's offering some help.
It's true. I mean, I
Um,
don't usually go around yelling at
right.
people.
Doesn't seem regular to be that upset about an offer to play pool. This doesn't
Yeah,
seem
it's true.
so. This seems different than what I've collected up to that point. Is enough information that this is someone I want to really spend some time with. So I took all of that as moments in time,
Okay.
and I guess I'm right. But
Hmm. Yeah.
I I don't know what it was. I really don't know what it was because I didn't really internalize any of that too much either. Like, it's not as
Mm.
though I walked away from that. It's like, yeesh, right? Like,
Yeah.
none of
Okay.
that. It was just, okay, that was odd.
Mm.
And then carry on. So maybe I knew that you were working through something,
Mm.
and then I'm willing to be here for all of that also.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't have a poetic, uh, smooth answer to what exactly I saw. I think that's the closest I can put to
Yeah.
it.
Maybe your soul knew that I was your soulmate.
There you go.
Yeah, and that was your intuition being like, give her some time.
Hmm.
She's the one.
Hmm. That could be it. That could be it, honestly, because honestly, I didn't internalize any of it, and that's the
Yeah.
kind of scenario that naturally I would have reacted more to. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I definitely would have taken it more personal, right?
Mhm.
And for some reason here I didn't. And so why?
Yeah.
And your explanation
Yeah, my
makes,
explanation. I like my
yeah, there
explanation.
you go.
No, I mean, I like yours too.
This is my logic brain working through the thing. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
this is my spiritual sense and
there you go.
senses, how I see it.
There you go. Yeah,
See, and this is why Life Path 7 is good with the Life Path 8
there you go.
when they're in their best express. Okay. And I knew you were the one, well, I know you remember this. So we started dating when the Raptors were in the playoffs in 2019. I feel like the Raptors were a big part of our love story.
Hmm.
Um, and we went to like a restaurant bar to watch one of the playoff games. And I had been sick in 2019, on and off, still didn't know what was going on. So I had stopped drinking. And then when we went on a date, I was like drinking again. And we all know that like my relationship with alcohol wasn't very good.
Hmm.
And that night I had ordered a bottle of wine,
Oh, I
and
remember this.
yes, I know you remember
Hmm.
because you don't drink wine.
Nope.
So, and I didn't drink the whole thing because I was sick.
You had just the neck.
Oh, right, yeah. So you bought me a whole bottle of wine.
Hmm.
Yes, yes.
And you had just the neck.
Because I wasn't feeling well.
Hey, okay.
Anyways, the whole point of why I'm sharing this is, I'll get to the point. The whole point why I'm sharing this is because yes, I guess I wasn't feeling well. I only had, yes, a little bit of the wine. And I said to you, like, okay, I think I really need to go home. You stay here because it was like a playoff game. And I just need to go home. I'll take an Uber. And you basically was like, no, no, I'll Uber you home. I'll like Uber home with you. And I was like, no, no, it's fine, it's fine. Well,
Hmm.
that I'm an independent woman. I can
Hmm.
take care
Yep.
of myself.
Hmm.
So anyways, you Uber me home and you like get out of the Uber with me. You walk me up to my condo door and you were like, can I get you water? Can I do anything for you? Like, I just want to make sure, you're okay. And I remember like hugging you and like looking up at you and I was like, oh my God, like he wants to take care of me. And that was the moment. So 3 weeks and a full moon. And I was like, oh, you're so sweet. Like, and I just really realized that, yeah, you were exactly the man that I was manifesting. Yeah. So, and then after that, you can attest, like, I wasn't so hot and cold.
Nope. Nope. No, that was the turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
that
turn.
was the turn. I'd say
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Raptors lost that game, by the way. Boy, yeah. Yeah,
Honestly, I don't even
they lost that
remember.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But they won that series, but they
Yes.
lost that
That was
game.
yeah. We'll always remember
Yeah.
the 2019.
Hmm.
We'll always remember the championship.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Um, okay, so I talk to a lot of people about dating and relationships and love, and I often hear that people want to date somebody that has same or similar hobbies or even jobs. And yeah, you and I, one have very different jobs. Well, in some regards, some like obviously my spiritual business very different than
Yes.
your walls business
Correct.
and construction.
Correct.
um but you also have like years and years of project management, and like as an event manager that's more of
Hmm.
like the similarities, but obviously I don't speak walls.
Please don't.
You're also an avid cyclist.
Mhm.
Yeah, avid. You go on the road. I mean, you cycled from Toronto to Montreal.
Mhm.
That was your support vehicle.
Thank you. We'll cover those stories on another episode, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Hey, I'm a pretty good support vehicle.
yes.
But yes, we will cover that maybe another time or never. I don't know
Yeah.
how pertinent that information
I
is.
okay.
Uh,
Perfect job. She did a perfect job as a support vehicle.
the one time you found help, but I was on my way to come help you. That's not on me. It was a timing thing.
Yeah.
I was coming. I was coming. Oh my God. Okay. So, what are your thoughts around people wanting to have similar hobbies or similar jobs? And because you and I do not have pretty much any similar hobbies, I don't think. Like also you're quite athletic,
Hmm.
also was an Olympian athlete that I always
Yep.
love.
Yep.
I always love mentioning.
Yep. Again, to be covered elsewhere, but yes.
And I am not, obviously. So, anyways, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's when we mention that word compatibility, I think the easy calculation of
Hmm.
compatibility is somebody that has the same hobbies, same interests, sound alike, look alike, right?
Hmm.
But that's a case of careful what you wish for, I
Yeah.
think,
Hmm.
because uh, you do want somebody to grow with also,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
And what kind of growth can you have with someone that is you?
Yeah.
Like if you're
Right.
dating yourself,
Yeah.
then what exactly are you learning? What exactly are you
Hmm.
developing? Now, I understand if like a runner wants to get with another runner and then together they can like run super marathons or whatever. That's a brain type. That's something else. But I think with like so many things in common, it can get weird.
Yeah.
Like it can get a little bit too, my mind, it would say boring.
Hmm.
Would I want to date myself? I don't think I'd want to date myself.
Hmm.
So I think that there's so much learning that could happen when you're with someone with different interests, different
Hmm.
experiences, different jobs,
Yeah.
different opinions. Right?
Yeah.
There's so much they can get from that that I don't
Hmm.
think I think it makes sense to be with someone that's different,
Yeah.
but like still compatible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, you and I, like whenever I ask you to meditate with me, you say that you meditate while cycling, you
It
know.
counts.
I mean, I'll still try, but
It certainly counts. It's like cycling for 9 hours requires a certain amount of being in the moment and like
yeah.
really paying attention to what your body does and what your body needs and you really have to be paying attention when you're on the bike that long. So like there is uh some meditation involved in being able to do something like that
Hmm.
regularly.
Hmm.
I understand what you mean,
Yeah.
but and I think even that's a little bit hard to explain, like what kind of like what I get from that kind of meditation. I have a sports background, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm used to. And I think it works well for me.
Yeah.
So I'll be on the bike for them 9 hours and you will meditate at home. And
Yes.
that's okay.
Yes. Yes.
Because I do not expect you to be on the bike for 9 hours.
I will not go on a bike,
Period.
period.
Exactly.
Like it's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So basically you're telling me I need to accept that you're not gonna come meditate with me?
I'm not gonna say never.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say never.
Well, more open than me about cycling.
Exactly. Exactly. Y'all heard it too. Okay. But I'm not gonna say never.
Yeah.
I will say that I appreciate that I could do that kind of cycling and that you're not bothered by that
Hmm.
because it is a lot of time.
It is a lot of time. Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Um, What do you think you've learned from me? I mean,
Mhm.
we do have similarities, like we really love, one, we obviously love to laugh. But similarities that we are like kind, caring people. We are all about I would say like mostly like living in the moment, I'm thinking like we both, I don't think you know this, but we both have three energy, and three is the sunshine number of numerology. They're the optimists. They're all about like play and storytelling and communication. They are all about community and like bringing community together. So yes, we do have like similarities, but I'm curious, what do you think you learned from me in the last 6 years?
Yeah, I mean, I guess paying more attention to your mental
Mhm.
is probably the cleanest way to put it. But because of my type of job, surroundings in general, I'm not really around a lot of people that take care of themselves mentally
Mm.
and like take care of their heart or things like that. And so you would be like in my circles the only person.
Yeah.
And what I've realized is that I talk a little different since being with you, and
Yes.
it's been noticed by others that I talk a little different, a little more about feelings, a little more about like
Good.
is being a little more in tune, because I think that's a part of me that was always there but never really expressed.
Yes, that's your three energy, expressing emotions. And actually, Life Path 8, they need to learn how to be more emotionally abundant, emotionally aware. So again, I think that we do complement each other um, around, yeah, around also like spirituality
Mhm.
and even like believing in dreams. Although I think you've always like, I think you're a dreamer. I mean, you are because you're also a Pisces, but you're like more of a logical like I'm like not maybe not as I don't know.
I think my approach to dreams are a bit different.
Yeah.
Like it's well, that comes from the sports background. I think
Yeah.
the idea that if I say today, like for example,
Yeah.
300 kilometers in a day is very much a goal, and I have a pretty clear plan on how to get to that.
Right.
So if the dream is the 300 kilometers in a day, then there is a at least the loose concepts of a plan to get there. And that's kind of how I structure like my goal setting.
Hmm.
It starts with the dream, and then okay, what's the things to
Yeah.
do
So
to get it?
again, it's practical. Yeah. No, it's good. See, and that's what I think you inspire me with like I can dream, but it also needs to like be more strategic and maybe like add the like goals and not I don't know if I want to say practical. Well, yeah, I guess like kind of, bringing it down.
Well, a process to achieve it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So
Okay, so any dating advice for people out there?
who's your audience?
I think you know my audience.
Because that matters, right? That definitely matters. Because I mean, if dating advice for your audience, um,
Jackie, what just
no, I'm half kidding. Because the same things that I say here is not going to be the same that I'd say at like a Super Bowl party or
what
like.
you say at a Super Bowl party? No, we want to know.
I ain't gonna do that because
Yeah.
well, the Brotherhood had signed documents and
Oh
we said
my
that we're not
God.
supposed to do this. The Brotherhood won't allow it. I got to review the Brotherhood first, and
Oh
then
my God.
but the concept is that
Uh-huh.
you're awesome, everybody. Like we're
Hmm.
all awesome people,
Yeah.
and we all deserve the love.
Hmm.
Well, maybe not all. I think we can list a few people that, but anyway, most of
Right.
us deserve the
I
love.
think majority, yes.
Yes. And so I think if you start from a place of like really kind of loving yourself and like understanding yourself, at least the way that I've pulled it off,
Hmm.
um, lead with that
Hmm.
and just know that, everybody that you see or might be attracted to or go on a date with or whatever might not be for you, but you will find your person. I
Hmm.
think it's often enough that folks will jump into something because, well, he's into me, so I might as well be into him.
Right.
And that's not really the clean way to get to this because um, not everybody's for everybody,
Yeah.
but everybody has someone.
Oh, you are so
So
poetic.
that was a poetic moment, right?
That was a poetic
Oh snap!
moment.
Okay, I gotta get that on the thing. Can I trademark that snippet? Yeah,
Sure, whatever you want.
shirts and yeah,
Yes.
we'll talk.
Okay, we'll
But
talk.
yeah, that would probably be the closest to advice I could give.
Hmm.
I remember early 20s going to like bars with friends
Hmm.
and seeing that advice not in practice. Like very
No.
much just
Who were you? Actually, who were you in your 20s? Like dating and how did you approach dating in your 20s?
I was in long terms for most of the 20s.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, not most. I'd say half of the 20s were long term, the other half I was traveling.
Yeah.
And so when traveling, I kind of just put that like I'm just not going to be with someone, and that was kind of
Right.
the thought. So I was the third wheel
Hmm.
or like the fun maker
Hmm.
or like
Yeah.
the, bring people together and see what happens kind of person. So yeah, and then otherwise I was in long terms.
Hmm.
So
Okay, so let's go with that. So you were in long term. So who was Paul in, your 20s, early 30s in the long-term relationship versus who are you today with me?
well, before I might have been a giver without self-care.
Yeah.
Uh kind of back to the right, the idea that if she's okay, then that's the best I can do.
Right.
But not really thinking about if I'm okay, or not really being too
Mm.
concerned about if I'm okay. And by not concerned, I'm definitely concerned. But
Yeah.
but just was not gonna express that at all
Right.
unless I'm with like the closest of friends at
Right.
some place on Queen.
Hmm.
But that would have been most of the long terms before that, like if she's happy, then I'll have to figure it out. And it's a sad way of
Yeah, totally.
living a bit, but yeah, I really believed that. And I think I'd seen so many examples also of people that were in relationships that weren't really happy, but they're in relationships anyway. So that's kind of what you do. You just kind of you deal, you
Hmm.
survive, and then you get a couple minutes on Sunday to watch football, and otherwise you're just surviving. And that
Oh.
was kind of the attitude. So yeah, I would say now I'm certainly not this. I
Hmm.
would say now I'm pretty in tune with like what I like and how I am as a person. But what helps that is that you actually like love me as that.
Hmm.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Because yeah, I really appreciate that. And I don't think I ever had that before.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I was also reading again back to when I was no, when I first met you, because again, my background in dating was I only dated assholes slash those who were not emotionally available, who um yeah, didn't want commitment, didn't want anything long term, or didn't know what they wanted. And I remember I was reading one of my journal entries, and it was like, oh, I don't know. I said, I don't know if you are too nice.
mhm.
And because I wasn't sure if you were too nice, meaning that like you didn't have a backbone, that you didn't have like you had low self-esteem. Not that you came off with like low self-esteem at all, but it was just I had this like story in my head that being a nice guy was exactly that. Like either you didn't have a backbone and I might have like um taken advantage of that because I had in the past, like a long time ago. So not maybe necessarily that version of myself, but it had happened before. And and yeah, I mean, I've even seen you grow from the time we were dating in certain situations that like you do put yourself more first with other people.
Mhm.
And I've seen that growth in you because when we did first meet, there were some, I think there were like few and far between where you had shared stories about kind of being too nice.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, what the hell? Like, you got to stand up for yourself, or you can't just like, yeah, give and not receive. So I'm really glad that one, I rewrote that story and that you really showed me that like one, you know, being nice is nice. It's nice to have, but still standing up for yourself and still having that
Hmm.
like self-love and self-care.
Sure.
Um, yeah, I don't know actually where I was going with that, but
Yeah, no, no,
yeah,
that's all apprecited because yeah, I've certainly been I've been too nice in the past,
you have
and I've
been,
got
yes,
loads of
yeah,
stories on that, and
yes,
it gets tiring and
it
gets
does.
expensive,
Ugh,
and
it
it
really
just
does.
yeah, like I'm turning I'm getting old, getting old,
Are you
and
turning 40 soon?
that's it, the big four, and I'm looking forward to it
Yeah,
because I feel like I've learned enough lessons up to this point to like really appreciate it. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I always say that I really believe that love is super helpful in our careers, like being in love, being in a loving relationship. Um, how do you think our relationship has helped in your career?
One less thing to worry about. that's that's a
Okay.
firm answer. One less thing to worry about. One less like just to I guess just that feeling of knowing that you have my back,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Uh that I don't have to I'm using the term worry because that's the only thing that comes to mind. I don't have to worry about what's happening at home or like us
Yeah,
when I'm going through tough things at work.
right.
I know that you are not going to change your opinion of me based on things that happen at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also been able to compartmentalize work
Mm-hmm.
as the thing to raise money for our life.
Yes.
So to be with someone that that thought process makes sense with, or to
Mm-hmm.
like, we're building a life together,
Mm-hmm.
then I need this job to help with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this job's gonna do, and
Mm-hmm.
not much else.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say that being in love like this
Mm-hmm.
helps me at work, like in that way, just to maybe help put all of the things in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Home is home, work is work, but work pays for home.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people love me at home. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell's happening in this place, but people love me at home.
Okay.
And it does really help because then when
Yeah.
I was in scenarios where that love at home wasn't there,
Yeah.
then the attention paid to what's happening at work obviously is affected.
Yeah.
If work is all that matters, then everything that happens at work becomes that much like more of a problem. So thank you for making home nice
Oh.
because that really helps with work, if that makes sense.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I really think that yeah, love can really help your career in the ways that like when you are in love, like you are obviously like happier. And love can bring one, I feel like so much like creativity and you know, support and solutions. And it really just changes your whole mind, body, and soul. And not to say that like you're putting in like so much more into work if that's not what you want to do. But if you have, you know, a passion, it really does help. I know that for me, like you've been so supportive especially in my entrepreneurial journey for the last 5 years. Because
Mm.
when we met, I was working at a bank and, you know, got sick and decided, like we both decided that I was going to resign and I was going to move in with you and start freelancing. And of course, I think I freelanced for a month and a half, and then the pandemic.
Mhm.
And then, was working in my wellness business and came back into events a couple years ago, all of that. But yeah, just knowing that for me, that you support me and that I feel like I can come to you, for like work advice and just yeah, and to me it's like I also think that, our love really fuels what I do in my spiritual business. Because I think definitely I've been in past lives, I must have been like a love coach or a matchmaker. I think it's like deep in my soul.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I definitely think that love and career go together. And I think it's interesting when people think otherwise.
Yep. I guess if you try to zero in on the point, like the reason why we do things,
Right.
I would want to put love in family and all of that. I'd want to put that higher
Hmm.
than work.
Yeah.
So actually being in a legit love
Hmm.
helps that to make sense.
Hmm.
Um, because those people at work don't love you.
No. And I
That's,
hate like we're
yeah,
family.
they don't
No,
love you,
they don't love you.
and so if love is what you really cherish and what we really
Hmm.
want to have and what we really
Hmm.
want to, love's going to be with us forever.
Yeah,
This job probably won't be,
exactly.
and so I'm able to comfortably live like that,
Hmm.
but mainly because I actually do have love at home,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. Okay. Anything you want to ask me?
man, I mean, I think we've covered quite a bit. Covered quite a bit. I'm not sure because I think we do talk often,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if there's anything on the table that I haven't covered, right? But like, are you happy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
With you?
Yes.
No.
Can you imagine?
Of course. I call you my dream man. I'm so in love with you. And it's funny because we went to a wedding
Mm,
last month in El Salvador, and one of the groom's I guess like former coworkers came up to you
mhm.
and had said, do you remember what she said?
She really loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you were like, you should go tell her that. So she came up to me. It was so sweet. She was like, I've seen how you look at him and you just like light up when you look at him and you can tell that like you're so in love. And then I think she said, something along the lines that like I have like a I don't know, I light up the room or something really sweet that I was like, oh, thank you. But it's true. Like yeah, I love you a lot, as you know. And yeah, I have like a really big, respect for you. And actually a few of your friends have told you.
Yep. They can see it. Which that's interesting because then like the fact that people recognize it when we're just in the room, not necessarily like linked, but
Yeah.
just being in
Yeah.
the room together it seems to be enough for folks. And so there is something to say about that love and energy that we bring.
Yeah, that love and energy.
That love and energy.
Yes, we have a lot of love and energy.
Yeah. So yeah, and I guess I don't so that's I don't have any like lingering questions.
Mhm.
Um
What do you think we have similar love languages?
oof.
Okay, so do you remember the love languages?
I
So,
do.
okay,
There's similar love languages. I don't hmm. I'm thinking about this one because I'm gonna say maybe.
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe.
What are my love languages that I like to receive? How do I like to receive your love?
Uh, words of affirmation,
Hmm.
physical touch.
Hmm.
Um,
acts of service, quality time, or gifts, and gifts.
Well, quality time.
Yeah.
I'd put gifts probably last, to be honest.
Yeah, we're not like big on gifts, so I'd say yours too is last for gifts.
Mhm.
Generally speaking, I'm not really a gift person. Like I'm more about the experience.
Mhm.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, although, I ain't above taking a gift. So if
No,
you have anybody that's gonna,
obviously. Yeah, obviously.
or, like, I wouldn't mind, but I'm not necessarily, yeah,
But
I'm not.
some people like before quality time or before physical touch, they would rather get a gift. And I'm not saying that in judgment.
I bumped up against this
So
exactly.
that's what I mean is
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Acts of service. You put that 3?
For how I like to receive.
Yeah. You mentioned that 3rd?
It's so funny because I always just think that like I think all of them are equal except gifts are last.
Mhm.
So it's like all of them. So yeah, physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, and acts of service, and then gifts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where mine lie, because I guess it's interchangeable.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess it changes, but I don't know. That's a harder question for me. I know there's some quiz on BuzzFeed I can probably
Yeah, yeah.
sort that out, but
I think yours, like how you like to receive love, is words of affirmation.
that's always nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that is always nice. Quality time,
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
acts of service,
Hmm.
um, physical touch,
Hmm.
and then I don't even know gifts.
Right.
Gifts are so not us. It's just so
Yeah.
funny. I don't even know the last time I bought you a gift. Although what's kind of funny, remember I didn't like your pants when we first started dating and I was being very superficial about your pants. And then our first Christmas together, I took my best friend Emily. We
Mm.
went to H&M
Mm.
and she helped me pick out an outfit for you.
Hmm.
And I still love that outfit.
The
So friends, do not be superficial about a man's
right.
pants. You can change the pants.
Well, yeah, and I guess it's important to note that the pants I was wearing happened to be pants that I was wearing on a construction
I
site
know I didn't know
before
that.
our date.
But I didn't know that because
So
the first few times we met up, you were wearing those ugly pants.
they were jeans, by the way.
Yes, but they were like kind of a bit baggy
Yes, because on a construction site, I'm
because you
not
were
wearing
on.
skinny jeans.
I know, but I didn't know that. And then I do remember. Remember we went to oh, it was like the Fifth something or like that restaurant like Richmond and John. We went to
Yeah,
that
you go
restaurant
downstairs. I don't know what it's called
downstairs. I
now,
can't
but yeah,
remember. It's probably changed a bazillion times anyways.
yeah.
But it was the first time I had seen you in like nice pants and a nice shirt and you had shaved. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
That wasn't coming from sight.
Because you weren't coming from sight. And I was like, oh shit, this guy's hot.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Right. I accept that. Yeah, I accept that. Yeah. 'Cause I wouldn't necessarily call myself a flashy person by any
No,
stretch, and so
you're not flashy.
there's a part of me that appreciates that maybe you would like me before actually seeing what I look like. Not.
Well, remember, I was kind of hot and cold, and part of the cold was about your pants.
Yeah.
So silly.
Yep.
Okay, so thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah. I mean, thanks. And I guess the next episode that I'm on is going to be about cycling and nutrition.
Sure.
Nutrition behind cycling.
Is there going to be like a soul purpose behind it or like your soul's journey? Can we add some spirituality to it?
1000%.
Okay, sure. You are welcome to come back on the show to chat
Riding to
cycling.
your soul.
Riding to your soul, ladies and
New
gentlemen. That
segment.
will be a new segment,
Yep.
yes.
It'll be just me sitting in front of the camera talking about cycling.
Even ask you. What would I even ask you?
I have no idea. I have no idea what you would ask me about cycling. No idea. I think it'd be hilarious because it'd be such a twist for like your audience
Right.
that like out of the blue, just me in bike shorts and a bike helmet. It's okay. You gotta get your speed up. That's what you need to do. Right,
Well,
it's gonna be such a weird.
divine, like
Mhm.
how you manifest your cycling. activities?
I mean, I think we're tipping towards what might be a cool concept for this.
What?
In that the male perspective on things like this
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's instead of just
is
about cycling. Can we do
exactly.
that?
I am more than cycling.
You are,
So
yes, you are more than
yes,
cycling, my
I would
love.
be happy to give a male perspective on all of these matters.
Right. And obviously, like, you're not the male voice. Let's just acknowledge that you are one male voice.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes, we always have to acknowledge these things.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the brotherhood also, they'd appreciate that
Yeah,
clarification.
yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my love. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, we'll chat soon.
Yes, you know what? You could send payment by e-transfer, that's fine.
No.
I don't know if accounting has sent the invoice yet, but we'll figure that out. That's okay.
Okay.
And then my booking agent will get in touch
Right.
for the next.
Right. For the next one?
Correct, yes.
Okay. I love you.
Love you, babe.